Hello again, welcome to Maths is Not a Mystery. We're going to be looking at perpendicular lines today on the y equals mx plus c straight line graph formula. We did a video about parallel lines, and this one is similar but slightly more difficult. It's a y equals mx plus b again, meaning that it's nearly the same as y equals mx plus c, and this is perpendicular. Now, perpendicular lines, just in case you're not quite sure, perpendicular lines cross each other at right angles. The axes of this graph are perpendicular. They cross at right angles, but obviously they don't have to be vertical and horizontal. We can have a line that crosses a sloping line that's perpendicular to it as well. So, what's going to happen here? Let's have a look. We've got this particular one. Let's have a look at what it is. It goes along 1 and it goes up 2. Okay, along 1 and up 2, it's y equals 2x and it crosses at 1. So it's y equals 2x plus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's find a line that's perpendicular to this, perpendicular to y equals 2x plus 1, and it needs to pass through the point. Let's choose a nice little place for it to go. It can go through the point 4, 2. Can we make it go through the point 4, 2? So, what do? Well, let's have a little think. First of all, if it's going to go perpendicular, it's going to go in the opposite direction. So it's going to be a negative line, isn't it? Whatever we have on our original line, we're going to have a negative version of it on our perpendicular line. So here we've got 2x. It's definitely going to be a minus something x because it's going to slope backwards. Obviously, if the original line sloped backwards, then our perpendicular one would be a positive. What will its gradient be? It's not going to be 2x, not going to be minus 2x either, because minus 2x would be very much as steep as this line here. And if you look, I'm not going to draw it and spoil it, but if you look at where my pen's going now, that's not crossing at right angles. To get the minus 2x, we go along 2. Let's just draw it down here. To get the 2x, excuse me, we go along 1, let me get this right, 1 along and 2 up, and that is how we get our gradient of 2x. If we wanted to go the opposite way, we would have to go along 2 and up 1, and that would be a reverse version. Okay, that would be this kind of line, which would be perpendicular. Now, along 2 doesn't work in your gradient thing. You've got to go along 1. So if we're only going along 1, then we're only going up a half. So our gradient is going to be minus a half x. Now, how do we work that out quickly? Well, it's quite easy, actually, because I already told you it's negative, because it goes backwards. It's also the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 2 is a half. To find a reciprocal, you simply put 1 over the top of a number. So the reciprocal of 2 is a half. The reciprocal of 3 is a third. The reciprocal of 10 is a tenth. Okay, you just simply put it under a 1, turn it into a fraction. If it's already a fraction, to find the reciprocal, you just turn it upside down. And then it's the reciprocal. To find the negative reciprocal, well, you still put it under a 1, but you put a minus sign in front of it. And obviously, if there already is a minus sign in front of it, you take the minus sign away from it. So what we're doing now then, we've got y equals 2x plus 1. We want a line that's perpendicular to this line, passing through the point 4, 2. So, if you remember from the parallel line situation, we had this kind of formula. Now let's just remind ourselves that the point that we're talking about is 4, 2, and 4 is the x and 2 is the y. So let's go through our formula now. So the formula is going to be y minus y sub 1 is 2 here. That's the new substitute for y. So y minus 2 equals, now m, when we did parallel lines, the m value was the same as the line we were working with. Now it's the negative reciprocal, so it's minus a half of x minus the new x, which is 4. Expand the brackets. Y minus 2 equals minus a half x. Minus a half times minus 4 is plus 2, isn't it? Okay, minus a half times minus 4 is plus 2. A half of 4 is 2, and of course we've got the 2 minuses there. Now, to get that y on its own, we're going to have to add 2, which means we've got to add 2 to this side, so y equals minus a half x, add 2 to this, so it's minus a half x plus 4. And that is our new formula. We've completed it. Let's find the graph and let's put it all on there. What did we say it was? We said it was y equals minus a half x plus 4. Let's put it down there so we can see it nice and clearly, and then we will plot it on the graph. So it's going to cross over the line at 4, at plus 4, big dot there. It's going to go, for half x, it's going to go across 1 and up a half. So across 1 approximately and up a half is going to be there. And it's going to pass through that point that we said was 4, 2. Okay, so 4 along, 2 up is there. And if we draw that, apologies that I don't have a ruler, but if we draw that and we try to make it go across as neatly as we can into here, I think you can see that we have a perpendicular line with right angles in those corners. Okay, so the way that we do it, quick reminder then, we follow the y equals mx plus b formula once again, which is this one, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. We use the new points for our new x and y values, but we have to do the negative reciprocal of the gradient. And the negative reciprocal means take your gradient, put it under a 1, and put a minus sign in front of it. And it's really as easy as that. Okay, I hope that's helpful, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon on Maths is Not a Mystery. Bye bye.